What is up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Marriage is Real. I'm your host, Damian Johnson. And as you can see, this is not Jamie Johnson. This is another Johnson, but not Jamie Johnson. I won't say anything. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey man, what's going on? um, some of y'all may know me, some of y'all may not. It's my first time on the stream, but my name is Jordan Johnson. Some of y'all also may know me as Suave on the track. And yeah, I'm happy to finally be here since the stream has literally been going on in my home for years, and I've never been on it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
So, it was pretty funny because I asked him, I was like, hey, we have this house is a hotbed for relationship conversations. I mean, pretty much every day we're having some type of conversation that's related to relationships and everything like that. So something pretty interesting came up about a week ago, I want to say, and it sparked a whole conversation in our home. And I was just like, you know what? Why don't we do something a little different this time? For those of you guys who are wondering, Jamie is out doing some stuff with our daughter, so Jordan is going to be our sit-in for today. But yeah, so I was like, why don't we do something a little different? Let's have a conversation about pop culture and social media, and just see what's been going on. So if you're anywhere in the world, there's a young gentleman by the name of Michael B. Jordan, and he was dating, and I use was as past tense. He was dating uh, Steve Harvey and Lori Harvey's daughter. No, her name is Marjorie. I'm sorry, Marjorie. Marjorie's daughter. Her name is Lori Harvey, and so they had been dating for what, about a year?
About a year,
Something
year
like
some change.
Okay, so they've been dating about a year and some change, and they were all over social media and everything like that. And so recently they broke up, and everybody was, hashtag relationship goals and everything like that. And they didn't make the cut. And so tonight's topic we titled "She's Just Not That Into You." I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. There's a movie from the 2000s, I want to say. It's called "He's Just Not That Into You." And so basically it chronicled the dichotomy between a man and a woman in a relationship, and how women thought and had all these perceptions about what a relationship looked like, and how a man may be saying a certain thing or doing a certain thing, but the women were reading all the signs wrong. It was like they just were missing it all together. Even if the guy was telling them straight up, this is what it is, I'm not looking for a relationship. And so what was so funny about the movie was, for example, like I said, the guy could be like, I'm not looking for a relationship. And she'll go back and tell her girlfriends, well, he said he's not looking for a relationship. And then the woman will say something like, oh, well, he's just afraid of commitment. You just keep going forward and he's going to love you and he's going to marry you. And so there were so many different examples of that during the movie. And it's actually one of my favorite movies because, again, it's about relationships. So tonight we're going to talk about Jordan's experience. Would you prefer me call you Jordan or Swab? Which one works for you?
Whatever. It really
Okay. So we're going to talk about Jordan's experience based on some of his social media posts that he posted about this situation, which he talked to us about it, and it just sparked this whole excuse me, it sparked this whole conversation. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight on Marriage is Real. So without further ado, I'm just going to pass it over to Jordan and let him tell us about what happened with him went about his post that he made on social media, and we'll just kind of go from there.
So the other day when I saw the news about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey and stuff like that, I don't know. I normally don't make posts like that, but I just decided to make a post about it and say something about it. And so basically, what I said, to kind of paraphrase was, until until good men are appreciated by women, the same thing is going to keep happening. Like there are, because if you think about it, anyone, especially like from what are we, Generation Z or whatever, I'm not sure exactly what
No,
it's
you a
called.
millennial.
Millennial,
Yeah.
yeah. Michael B. Jordan for the women is like the pinnacle of like the man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Ever since he did Black
Black
Panther and
Panther
the shirt off and the Hey
and
Auntie and
Creed
all
too,
that,
yeah,
and
all that
Creed,
stuff, yeah.
but when he had the locks and took the shirt off and the Hey Auntie, memes just spouted
Yeah.
out everywhere. So go ahead.
Everybody was talking about it, and he was even 2020 sexiest man alive, pause. You know what I'm saying? But you know, um, I made that post and I was like, until good men are appreciated by women, the same cycle is gonna keep on happening and stuff like that. And so basically, the thing that really confused me about the situation was Lori Harvey. She seemingly had everything that she could want in a man. He was literally the sexiest man alive at one point. You know what I'm saying? And then you could also tell that he was about her. You know what I'm saying? You could really tell that he really like genuinely loved her, stuff like that. And just even from his posts on social media, even compared to his past relationships, and yet it still wasn't enough. And so, when I made that post, a few peers, people, closer to my age, and
Now, were these guys or were these girls, young ladies?
I had a few of both. So I had a few guys.
Okay, so tell me about what the guys said and what the young lady said.
All the guys agree with me. All of them was like, yeah, fam, she gonna regret that. She gonna look back one day and she gonna, feel like she missed out because, after she's got done living her life and doing her thing and she's finally ready to settle down and have a family, a lot of the good men by that point, they be gone and they be scooped up, by the women that actually appreciate them. And, so that's kind of the sentiment that a lot of the men had. And for the women, a lot of them was coming against me. And they were saying, I'm not going to say they was like being real combative about it, but they basically was just saying like, oh, well, she's young and she wasn't ready to commit and he's 35 and he's 5 years away from 40. So he probably going to want to be, of course he's going to be ready to settle down and stuff like that. And so it was just really interesting to see the logic, behind them trying to, I guess, kind of take up for her, as far as like her wanting to have fun and live her life. And the point that I was arguing was like, that man, I'm sure that he expressed to her pretty early on, especially as things started to get more serious, that he wanted to take things even more serious. So my thing was like, if you knew that, then what was the point of continuing to be in a relationship with this person when you knew, like, you don't want to be any more serious than what y'all are? What's the point of being in a relationship with somebody for over a year if especially with y'all being grown? So that was my point. And as far as them saying, she's young and she's trying to live her life and stuff like that, anybody who know Lori Harvey, she got a roster on her. She got a roster of men, and she done, like when you get to dating Diddy and his son, you know what I'm saying? Like you like, how much more life do you want to live? You know what I'm saying? That was what I argued. I'm like, what more can you do? You know what I'm saying?
And so I did a little research. Oh, what's going on, Brian? Good to see you join us tonight. I did a little research on it. And so I looked on people.com and they basically said, so y'all gotta forgive me. I'm in the 40 plus club. So some of this stuff that they say, I understand, but I guess it's to make a statement. One of the things they said is that she said that they were in two different places. which speaks to exactly to what he was saying. And then she removed all of her pictures of Michael B. Jordan off of her Instagram.
Right when the
So
news
so
broke,
oh, right when the news
and
broke.
he still I had all his too.
So when a young lady removes pictures from her social media or her Instagram, what is that saying? Does that mean that it's time for you back out there and it's whatever? Or what does that mean?
It's basically like, especially when you are somebody in that spotlight, it's letting everybody know I'm back on the market. I'm single. You know what I'm saying? This person that I was with, we not that no more. We're not together. So yeah, that's pretty much what it means.
So so just by taking down those pictures, that lets the world know that she's available again.
And men too,
So
especially the
okay, so
men.
let me ask you this: if she took those pictures down immediately afterwards, what do you think, or just in your opinion, what was the relationship like for her to do that so quickly? Do you think maybe that he was more invested in the relationship than she was, or what are your thoughts?
To me, that's definitely what it sounds like. It really sounds like, he was all in. He was ready, especially if he was talking about, being ready to marry her. Like, and for her to just take those pictures down like that as quick as she did, that says a lot, especially because she's only 4 years older than me. So,
Mhm.
I'm able to kind of relate to her a little bit more. And so for people that's closer to our age, when you are a sought after person, and like people are checking for you, and they checking to see if you're still in a relationship. Once you take those pictures down, it's kind of like a domino effect. Like, it's automatically gonna trigger, people to see, or people to think like, oh man, like, I think she's single. I think, because for her to just do that randomly,
Mhm.
that wouldn't make any sense. And then for him to still have his up, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of just
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's not, it wasn't a good look.
So one of the things that I thought about when I've kind of been looking at this story was, and even some of the young ladies that you said that you had talked to, they said that she just wants to have fun and be free. That's also what was quoted in People magazine. And so the thing or the question that it made me think about is, if you have a boyfriend, a husband, or a significant other, can you not do can you not have fun and be free? Because to me, being free is subjective.
Right,
um Free meaning you're your own person,
right,
right? So how can you not have fun and be free and still be with somebody?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's one of the things that I also felt very strongly about, when I was talking to those people, was that, you know, you don't have to be single to still have fun, especially if you have somebody. That was another thing that I argued. If you have somebody special, if you have somebody that's down for you, especially in their case, for him still wanting to wife her and be with her even after her past, and knowing how, the people that she's dated, and kind of knowing the history and the reputation that she has, and for him to still want to be with her, that says a lot about how he felt about her. But you should definitely still be able to have fun and enjoy your life without having to be out here just talking to a bunch of different people and
Mhm.
doing all that stuff.
So to me, it makes me think about, like, what does fun look like? You know,
Right.
and so of course, because I'm not a woman, I have to ask a woman. So I asked Jamie, I was like, so what is fun really look like when a young lady or a woman says something like that? What does that look like? And she said she wants to basically go do her thing. She want to go get I'm saying it in a very tasteful way, but she basically want to go get a freak on. You know what I'm
She want
saying?
to do her thug thizzle,
Yeah.
get around.
So hey, that came from a woman. So that was what she told me. Another thing I think about is, how big of an impact do you think that their age, because he's 35 and she's 25. How big of a thing do you think her age played in their relationship?
I don't think it played a big of as big of a role as it may seem, because for him to have been with her for over a year,
Mm-hmm.
I think that says like she must have been some type of mature, or unless he was just putting up with the immaturity to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't think that that's the case, because for him to want to, like I said earlier, for him to want to wife her, that just says a lot about the type of I guess how mature that she was, that he was willing to spend the rest of his life with her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And so, like you said earlier, um, I would think, and especially, bringing his age into account, I would think that a 35-year-old man would have a conversation with her. I wonder what that conversation would have looked like with, like, I'm looking for something greater. I'm looking for something. I'm wanting something to go. I'm wanting this to go somewhere.
Right.
Because you don't spend a year of of your life with someone a lot of times just for nothing if you don't see it going anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said Lori Harvey obviously wasn't ready. Yeah. And
Yep.
I definitely agree with that. You
Oh,
know,
hey Ben.
um, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand it, but like I said earlier, the point that I was arguing was, what was the point of being in that long of a relationship if you
Right.
knew?
Right. If you knew, or do you think maybe, because I got to play the devil's advocate here, do you think maybe that he started putting pressure on her,
Mm.
and then she didn't want the pressure, and maybe she didn't feel like she wanted to continue in the relationship because she was young and wants to have fun?
I definitely think that that's a possibility.
Hmm.
None of us really know because we weren't in their relationship, but I think that definitely was a possibility. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's pivot back, but back in this same vein. So if you don't mind telling everybody, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, he's 21 years old. So he's out. He's basically in the same dating pool as 25 and a 30-year-old and things of that nature. Why don't if you don't mind tell us a little bit about how Lori Harvey and the way that she moves, how that is kind of how it is out there in the world. Because I want to kind of do like an old school and a new school kind of spin on it. But
Mhm.
tell me about how it is out here when you're talking to young ladies and you're meeting them and everything, and how it kind of applies to what's going on with the dating world.
So, I feel like a lot of my peers, as far as age, a lot of them are influenced by social media, and a lot of them are influenced by, you know, basically what everyone else is saying. And everyone is encouraging everyone to just live your life, just do your thing. You can talk to as many people as you want, and it's honestly just different for men and women. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't matter how you try to spin it. It don't matter, what you say. It's just like, as a man, you automatically are gonna look at a woman a certain type of way if she's talking to a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the dating pool and being out here, you see a lot of that with the women and the people that, like I said, are closer to my age, because that's the sentiment that's across, seems like it's across everyone's it basically everyone has the same mentality about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so um it's very rare to find someone who still is meeting people but is not in everyone's face. If that does that make sense what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare. And so when you do find people like that, it's kind of like, oh, okay, let me see what this is about. It kind of like piques your interest. That's how it is for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's really how it is. And it's just, it gets tough at times, because another issue is that and I kind of can tie it back into the thing with Lori Harvey. um, a lot of ladies these days, they will appease you. So they'll basically tell you, they kind of will string you along sometimes, especially if you are a guy that's considered nicer, you know what I'm saying? And you are a person that, you seemingly are, you just not out here, just dogging people. I really think that, girls can pick up on that. And so, with that being the case, um, a lot of guys like that, they end up having trouble because they can be in a situation where a girl is kind of like, they're kind of giving them time and attention and doing stuff like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, when it comes to having a serious conversation and you kind of put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm interested, or I'm thinking about taking this further, or whatever the case may be, then it's kind of like, oh well, you kind of, they can hit you with that, oh, you like a brother to me, or I kind of just only see us as friends, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like a situation like that, and that happens a lot, with ladies appeasing, you know, guys out here, and and it makes sense, as to why a lot of men, they can end up being hurt or becoming into the player, because it's almost like a defense mechanism, because it's like, okay, I'm not finna let nobody keep on playing me like this. I'm not finna let anyone keep on, taking advantage of me and using me for dates and using me for, all types of stuff like that. And yeah, so that's kind of like how it goes out here nowadays. It's very rare to find someone that not only you connect with, but someone who is ambitious and is trying to become the best version of themselves, and yet and still is not just out here jumping from person to person, from dude to dude, just trying to you know get a free meal or just be in everyone's face, because everyone, especially from a male perspective, that's kind of how a lot of us look at our peers when it comes to the women. So just a little bit about how it is.
Cool. Let me hit some of these comments real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. Ben said he doesn't think, obviously she wasn't ready. Yeah, that's why she pulled out, because she wasn't ready. And then Ben said, my question is, were they honest with each other? Um, that's we that's the biggest and the best question, Ben, is were they honest with each other? Because a relationship should be based on honesty, but we don't know that. I would hope so, but we really don't know. And Keisha jumped in. She said, hey, Damon and Jordan. Hey, Keisha.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us. Let's see what her comment was. She said, it's at least 5 dudes in my inbox talking to themselves. I found someone I can connect with, but sometimes it can still be a struggle. Yeah, it can be tough out here, Keisha. Um, One of the things that Jamie and I have always told Jordan, when he's out here talking to young ladies, is to make your intentions known up front and to be honest. You don't have to really be deceptive, and that way, if you're honest, it can't be said that you didn't say anything, or that that person didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta make sure that you just, if at the end of the day that you said your part and you were accountable for what you were going to do, and what your intentions were. And then Angela said, hey, Angela, thank you for joining
Hey.
us. We saw money the other day at her job, and we told her to make sure we told you hi. But she said maybe he was settling. Yeah, he could have been settling. That's a good point, a very good question. He could have been settling for her. So another thing we said we were going to talk about tonight was, what are, for our Michael B. Jordans and other guys out here, what are some of the telltale signs of if she's just not that into you? All right. So let's just start. Let's just kind of jump into them. First, she doesn't pay you any attention.
Yeah. So one thing that my mama always tells me is a way to know if a woman is interested is if she gives you her time. And so if you are reaching out and texting her and she's, not responding, or she responding to you hours later, I mean, it's kind of, and I understand, we are grown, people get busy and stuff like that. But, when somebody wants to talk to you and get to know you, they're going to make that time. They're going to set aside that time
You
to.
can't be stealing my stuff,
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you.
I was just going to say that, but go ahead.
But yeah, they'll basically prioritize you to, make sure that that I took time out to, talk and to get to know you, even if it's a quick text, even if, it's a call, if you're not a big texter. But if they're not giving you any time at all, then, it's kind of like read between the lines.
Right. And that's the thing, and this doesn't just work in personal relationships. This works in everything, in all aspects of life. You make time for the things that are important to you. You make time for the people that are important to you. And if a person can or doesn't make time for you, then obviously they're not as important as you would. You're not as important to them as you would like to be. All right, we got some more comments. It's jumping tonight. Let's see. Oh yeah, we miss you too, Angela. We miss you, and we miss Sparky too.
I know, all the time.
Keisha said that's the problem and the hard part. A lot of people are just not honest. Even back in the day when I dated and stuff like that, people couldn't stand the fact that I was as honest as I was. I might meet a young lady and I'm out and hanging out or whatever, and she'll be like, "So, do you have a girlfriend?" "Yeah, I have a girlfriend." Or, "No, I'm talking to somebody." But, you know, and they would be like, "You just gonna tell me that?" "Well, you asked me.
Right.
What am I gonna lie to you about it for?" Because at this point, I don't have any obligations to you.
I don't know you.
I don't know you, and furthermore, you're not my girl. So what I gotta lie? It's been said you lie to the people that you care for. You take that with a grain of salt, but people say that. But I never felt the need to lie to anybody about anything and about my whatever situation that I was in, because what's the point of that? Look who Hey Johnson means.
Mama.
We're gonna need you to be grammatically correct, ma'am, if you're gonna come on this podcast. But hey, baby. All right, let's see. Angela said we make time for who and what we want. That's very true. We do make time for who and what we want. Let's see. Next comment. Keisha said Michael B should have known Lori was for the streets.
Oh,
just
Lord,
like
a
oh
mama.
wow, just like her mama. She wasn't pure as the driven snow. Wow. Keisha, have you been listening to us? Because we always be talking about pure as the driven slow. We say that all the time.
We say that all the time.
So when she got with Steve, like they trying to make her look. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. A lot of people have had a lot of comments to say. And then the thing about it, if you're in the public spotlight, you can't escape and you can't run from your past, because it's all being chronicled on social media. So you can't get away from what you've been, who you've done, who you went to dinner with, right. Especially when you're in that upper echelon of
like notoriety.
Right. And so you're not going to get around that. So that's going to play a part in your whole situation. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hey, Dr. Selena, that's the fam right there. She said, I think she was feeling him for what he brought to her for the moment. It's a very good point. Yeah. He is hot in the media right now, but it's not a guarantee that he'll be a heavy hitter in the industry for the long haul. I think she's holding out for a bigger payout. Interesting for the moment. So Dr. Selena is basically saying she's looking for the it guy. And he's popping right now. And you know what, Selena, that's a really good point, because they're saying now that she has been in Jack Harlow's DMs. And I talked to my sister Teresa today, and she told me he's got the #1 single song out on the radio out in the world right now. Yep. So that's a very good point. He might have been, she might have been riding the Wakanda wave, and the Wakanda wave then went real mellow. So
Right.
that's a really good point. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see, we got some more comments here. Let's see. Miss Jamie Johnson. She said MJB was blinded by her beauty. She liked the way he treated her, but that baby just didn't want him like that. Yep,
And
that's true.
I definitely think that as men, really people love beautiful things.
Especially men.
Especially us.
God made us. We're visual creatures. We like, and she's a cute young. She's young enough to be my daughter. She's a cute girl though. She's a cute young lady. So we're drawn to what we see.
I was just gonna say, and a lot of times, because I know people personally who have dealt with things that they shouldn't have dealt with just because the girl was pretty.
Oh yeah, that happened all the time.
Often, like, yeah, fam, but and it's like you already know, like, fam, you know that this is not you. This is not the situation for you, and this person doesn't afford you anything. They don't, add anything to you. Mm-hmm. They don't treat you well. But yet and still, you're trying to make excuses for this person to be with them because you like the way they look. But that can only last for so long.
Right. And then she's so pretty, you start spending your money on and all that kind of stuff. And the rest is history. Well, we got some comments popping tonight. Kilo, that's the homie from Carter. What's up, boy? Good to see you, man. Glad you joining us tonight. He said, keep it 100 from the word go, and she will respect you better.
Right.
See, we from me and him from the same school. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we grew up. That's how we did it. Is we talk to people, and it's like, look, this is what it is from the rip. And the thing about it, see, back in our day, when we talked to girls and stuff like that, you may have only had one opportunity or one moment, so you didn't have no time to play around. You had to keep it real from the go and tell her what it is and find out what her intentions are. So yeah, bro, you're right about that. Appreciate that comment. Let's see. Keisha said, I always ask, what are your intentions for me? Plus, sometimes a woman can tell by the way a man walk whether he's worth her time.
Oh,
we don't have time for the BS. Keisha, now when you say the way that he's walking, do you mean literally walking? Because if so, please, I would love for you to enlighten us about that. But yeah, I appreciate that comment. Let's keep getting through these here. Then Keisha said, wouldn't nobody even know Lori or her mama if it wasn't for Steve? Oh, long. Keisha is crazy. If y'all can reach out to Michael B, tell him I said what's up. So Keisha, you're going to date the youngin'. You're going to holler at him.
You need somebody real.
Okay, then Jamie said, when we as women want a man, it don't matter if we're 13 years old or 22. We already planning our wedding. So miss me with that. I want to be free-ish.
And that's what I was going to say that earlier, but I didn't get a chance to say that. But that's definitely true because I know people that are my age that are engaged right now that I went to school with. So it don't, everybody.
And how long you been out of high school?
I've only been out of school 3 years.
Okay.
But these are people that are 21.
And some of them got married, right?
Right. Some of them got married already. Some of them are engaged. Some of them already got kids. You know what I'm saying? And they younger. They're even a few months, a year younger than I am. So it don't have nothing to do with them being, wanting to be free and stuff like that. It really boils down to if you want that person and the mentality and the maturity. But that's definitely, not a determining factor.
Cool. And then Jamie said, want is the operative word. That's right. And then she said, okay. Anyway, Jamie. And then Keisha said, I most certainly will. He's got a strong back. What's up, Keith? What's going on, bro? Thank you for joining us tonight. He said, I'm not understanding why everyone is upset with her. She kept it real instead of playing games. She wasn't ready. That's a good point. That's a really good point. The thing about it, the thing you have to do and understand and respect is that she did say that, because honestly, it's better to have had that conversation before you got married than to go down the aisle and marry that person, and then you turn around and have to try to do damage control after the fact.
Right.
So you know, I'm a Libra, so I can always see both sides of everything. So I understand what you're saying on that. Thank you for the comment, brother. And then Keisha says, sadly, a lot of older men are looking for a nurse. They was for the streets early. Now they're trying to come to us good women. I'll pass. Give me the youngin.
Wow. I actually can see that. I actually can see that because I know people who have talked to older women. So, and they're younger guys. So that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, because back in my day, the youngest, it was a few youngest out. I mean, a few cougars that was trying to get at your boy, and I was like, you know what? I'm only 6 years older than your daughter, so that's probably not a
Yeah,
that ain't
not the
gonna
best
that's not
idea.
gonna be a good look. I'm too young to be a daddy, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be a no for me. So let me go back and look at some of these other things that tell some of these signs that you can tell if someone's not into you. Let's see. Here's a good one. She doesn't make an effort.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Effort, and especially this is for the people that's on this broadcast, ma'am. So, but she's right. She doesn't want you because the thing about it with a man, effort goes a long way.
Right.
When a man sees that a woman is putting forth effort to be with them and spend time with them, that really plays a very big part in what we think and how we feel about it. Do you, even though you're young, do you agree with that?
Definitely, because um the kind of like the sentiment and like the understanding, especially with people that's closer to our age, we have to. It's basically like we have to do everything, like literally everything. Like you plan a date, you do this, you do that, and of course that comes with the territory of being a man, obviously. But at a point, it's just like, okay, if I'm doing all this stuff and then you're doing a bare minimum or nothing at all to show like some type of reciprocation that, the feeling is mutual as far as, if you like me or if you wanted to get to know me, then it gets very taxing and very tiring. And especially when you're dealing with, a young lady who may be really beautiful and stuff like that, and they're used to dudes always doing stuff for her and always going out of their way, but she doesn't show you any type of reciprocation, or she doesn't make any effort to show you that she likes you. It gets very, very tiring, very tiring.
Yeah, that's good. And so Dr. Selena said, if he doesn't make a sacrifice for you, he's just not that into you. That's 100% right, sis. So I'm gonna tell on my sister here for a minute from when we were younger. So I am 4 years older than my sister. So when I was a senior, she was like in the eighth grade. So when little boys came start coming around, I was very protective and everything like that. And so one of the things I always told my sister, I told her about the fry test. And I told her, I said, whenever you start dating a young man, if he doesn't, if he goes to McDonald's and he doesn't even bring you any fries, he's just not that into you. Because when a guy cares, when he truly cares about you, when he cares, he's going to make that effort and he's going to make sure that you good. Because I mean, and I hear these stories all the time where they're a couple. They may not necessarily be married, but it's like he'll come home or he'll come to the house or wherever she is, and he got a whole plate of food. But he even call her and say, "Hey,
Hey,
do
you
you
want
do
some?
you want something? Do you want me to bring you something?" 9 times out of 10, she gonna say no, but bring it anyway because she gonna try to eat your food. So
Right.
that's this is from 24 years of experience. Y'all listen to me. Whenever she says she don't want no food, bring her some anyway. Because if not, she gonna eat your food anyway. So, but I always told her, I said, when a guy cares about you, he's gonna make sure that you're good. So thank you for that comment, Selena. Let's see what else we got here. I think some more comments are coming up. Okay, what does this one say? Dr. Selena said, and if he gives you the last fry, that's him, sis. You already know. You already know. What's going on, J Rose? Thank you for tuning in, brother.
What's going on, man?
Let's see another one. I had one. Oh, this is a good one right here. She'll drop hints that she's not looking to date.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is, yeah. That's
So, would you like to go into your bag?
yeah.
We ain't gonna name no names, but let's just have a conversation about it.
Yeah, it's like
What's up, Johnny?
you can kind of feel energy. You can kind of feel when I notice with ladies, they'll give you the alley oop. You know what I'm saying? They'll kind of put out there, but yeah, I'm free on this day if you want to do something or whatever. But when you trying to when you kind of are probing or you asking her straight up, like, hey, on this day, do you want to do this? And she always busy. She has no time to make any like type of sacrifice. So she's making it clear, like, no, I got something to do on that day. And the next day that you said I'm gonna have something to do on that day, then it's pretty obvious. It's like, all right, bro, it's kind of like then gotta take a step back because she obviously, she ain't feeling the energy like that. But yeah, that's a very true statement.
Let's see what Keisha said. It's a dude that just messaged me. Hey, boo, I didn't even respond. Sometimes when we tell dudes, they turn it up a notch and we still don't want them. FYI, a man comes home. If a man comes home, if a man comes home without food for me, I'm flipping tables.
That's understood. That's understood and understandable.
And so here's another one. We're talking about some of the signs where when a woman may not be that into you. Uh, when she shows up, she doesn't look her best.
Ooh, yeah, that's if she got on a shirt and some sweats and some Crocs, on the first date, that's a big red flag, But like that later on down the line, when y'all are more comfortable with each other, then that's something different. But like you'll know that a girl is into you or she's feeling you when you obviously see that she's making that effort to like look her best. She gonna be smelling good with her little fragrance. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have the nails did and she gonna have her clothes nice, wearing her nice shoes, nice dress, whatever the case may be, because she wanna look good for y'all. But I know I'm talking to a more mature audience, so I'm sure that y'all already know all this. But it could be somebody out there who doesn't know. But yeah, I've been in those situations where it's kind of like, dang, like this is what you decided to wear, like, and you came and you stepped, you got on your J's, you got the fade going on, and all types of stuff, and she looked like she just got out the bed, and that's never a good look, never a good look.
Okay. Here's another good one. She doesn't seem excited when you ask her out.
Yeah, definitely. She kind of like, sure. She hit you with one of those, and that's why it's kind of cool. For me, I'm not really a big phone guy. Like, I definitely, if I, want to meet someone, I definitely want to meet them in person because you can feel so much more of their energy and you can see how they react to you, in their tone, in their body language and stuff like that. And so especially when you're asking them out and you ask them and they're kind of like, I guess, and it's not like a thing where they're kind of excited, but you can tell they're kind of trying to play it cool. Then you normally can tell, like, yeah, they're not, they're really not that into it. But yeah. It's like, don't do me no favors if you don't want to hang out. Just say it. Just say what it is.
And so that, and I'm gonna come from the old school real quick. Back in the day when we used to talk to women and everything like that, you would just be like, yo, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Cause that's I'm gonna be straight, I'm gonna be straightforward and I'm gonna be direct. Like, what is it? Don't string me along. Don't waste my time. If you're not vibing with me, tell me that. So that way you can go do whatever it is and whoever it is that you want, and you can live your life like you want to live your life. Don't waste my time. If you're not feeling me, if you don't want to deal with me, just tell me that from the gate. Like, yo, I don't really, I want to be your friend or whatever. But, and I'm telling him because that's what used to work for me. I'm like, just ask. You're not going to get an answer until you ask a direct question. But what he's told me is that a lot of these young ladies nowadays, they won't even answer direct questions. I'm
Even
like,
if you ask.
and see, that's for me, that's mind blowing, because it's like, especially if you don't want to if you don't want to be bothered with somebody. Like if somebody didn't want to deal with me, or if they didn't want to be bothered with me, I would just be like, okay, cool. Thank you for
Right.
telling me that you don't want to be
Thank
bothered
you.
with me.
Thank
So
you.
guess what? I can go out here and find out who wants to be bothered, who wants to deal with me, because
Right.
obviously it ain't you.
Right. And
But
that's your
according
loss.
according to what he's saying, you could come to a young lady, have that conversation, and be like, "Yo, what is it?" And they'll what are some of the responses that they'll give you if you give them a direct question like that?
Some people,
Excuse
bless
me.
you.
Thank you.
Some people just lie. Some ladies, they'll just lie and they'll just be like, "Oh no, it's okay. Like, yeah, we can still keep her. Like, no, I'm interested." All that other stuff. But then you can tell in their energy that they're not. And it's kind of like, you know, why don't you just be direct? Because we all can feel energy. You can feel when someone is excited to be talking to you and when they're wanting to give you their time, as opposed to them kind of just fitting you in the schedule just because, and not, making you any a priority at all. But that's one thing, is they'll kind of lie about it, or sometimes they'll just beat around the bush. They won't answer your question directly or just say what it is. They'll they'll just tiptoe around what it is instead of just being honest and being direct, you know. And then you ask them the same question again, and then they're still kind of like, they still, won't answer the question. And for me, I'm not a person, my feelings don't get hurt real easy. I'm just like, if you just tell me what it is off rip, I'm gonna be thank you. I'm just be saying thank you so much that you are honest, because it's honestly refreshing, because it doesn't happen a lot these days. Like it's so many people that try to just, like I have been saying this whole time, just appease you to I guess not to hurt your feelings and stuff like that, but you're actually doing a greater disservice because you're not being honest and saying what it is. And then on top of that, you wasting my time. You wasting your time, but you're definitely wasting my time. And that's when it's really a problem.
So let's hit up some of these comments. Keith said, "Keep preaching, youngster."
I already appreciate it.
And then Angela said, "What if they always say they tired?" It's go to me, Angela. That goes back to that thing about a person that if you're important to somebody, they're gonna make time for you. I don't care. Back when, and this is even when I was young, because me and Jamie been together since the Civil War, and so it didn't matter what was going on in my life. I'm gonna tell you like this. So when we were dating, I lived in Lancaster and she lived in North Dallas off of Webb Chapel. I would drive from my house, my apartment in Lancaster, just to pick her up from work to take her home. The drive over there was about 45 minutes. To spend 15 minutes with her, just driving her home because she still had to go to school, I pick her up and take her home and just drive, and then drive 45 minutes back. Anytime that I could get with her, I would make time. And it didn't matter if I just got off of work. There wasn't any time or any situation where she couldn't call on me if she needed me. So yeah, if someone is important, they're gonna always if you're important to them, they're going to make time for you. And then what did Jamie say? She said, and and these narcissistic females are here thinking everybody want them. Huh?
These narcissistic females out here.
Oh, you type wrong. Out here thinking everybody want them. You can't even just chop it up as a friend. What you don't know is I don't even want you like that. I just rock with your energy. I ain't trying to wife you, you little MS ma'am.
I
Miss
ain't trying
ma'am.
to wife you, little Miss Ma'am. I literally was trying to kick it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to come expound on that? No. Did I read it wrong? Well, she basically seems like she was saying, you know what she's saying?
I know exactly what she's saying.
She's going to break it down for her.
So basically, what she's saying is, especially when you're dealing with like beautiful girls, a lot of them have this entitlement issue, And it's basically like you think that just because I met you and I got your number or got to know you or kind of yeah, I got your number or whatever to meet you, you think that automatically I'm just trying to wife you when the kicker is I don't know you. You
What's
know what
up,
I'm
Lonzy?
saying?
What's up, Juan?
What's going on, y'all? But yeah, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, you might be beautiful and stuff like that, but you cannot brush your teeth in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be all different
Yeah.
types of things. And you give off this energy that you're not really trying to be bothered or whatever the case may be. And it's just like I'm just trying to even see if we can be friends.
Because the thing is that even though you're a beautiful, attractive young lady, you're still. I'm trying to see if you're going to pass my requirements as well,
Right.
right? Just
Exactly.
because you look good don't mean I want you. You might not clean yourself well or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So just because you look good don't mean you good for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or we just might not click. That's another thing. We might just not have no chemistry. Like we might be attracted to each other, how each other looks physically, but we just, might not have any chemistry.
Right.
And
Or your character might be in question.
right.
I may not like the way you boost from the clothing store, or you know what I'm
Right.
saying, you sell drugs. I don't want a woman that sells drugs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Oh, and then Angela said, I'm convinced the dating pool smells like pee.
That's real spill.
And then Keisha said, Jordan, quit telling all the secrets. You absolutely right about women beating around the bush. Sometimes we'll hold on to a guy as a just in case for a free meal.
Wow. Wow, that's good.
Well, y'all heard it here first. He got the major game over here. And then what Keisha said, she said, Damien, you was picking her up when gas was 56 cents a gallon.
Let's be nice.
If he lives in North Dallas, we can't be together, bro. I'm not driving out there to see nobody. Hey, it may have been 50. No, it was 50. It was probably about 96 a gallon. But it still was the same
it's
mileage.
It's not $5-6. It's not $70 to fill up your tank.
and then Keisha said, off topic, I just can't believe Jordan is an adult. Keisha, Jordan been an old man since he was little. He just coming of age now. But yeah, he is old. He an old man. Micah too, she a little young lady. You talk to them, it's like we're not talking to children, we're talking to grown-ups, like for real. Okay, so getting back on topic. So another way or form of communication that really is prevalent in today's world is texting. There are a lot of people that deal with and go into their relationships. Like we know people personally that are in relationships. Instead of calling and having a conversation, everything is done through text. So another way that you can tell that she's just not that into you is you text her more than she texts you.
Yeah, that's very, especially with our generation, because texting is a big thing. A lot of people can use that as a scapegoat to not actually have face-to-face interaction. Because
y'all be FaceTime.
Right. For us, the way it works is like you might see somebody on social media, you shoot your shot in the DM or something like that, or you might meet somebody in public, even though it doesn't happen as much now because so many guys are scared and face-to-face interaction is not as important as it used to be.
I think it's still important, but
I'm saying for us, it's not as a lot of people don't make more of an effort because a lot of people just be scared and they hide behind their screens.
See, I say all the time, we back in the day, we would have took all they girls, because not him, but this generation, y'all scared to talk to girls. You had to have liquid courage in your blood if you was gonna talk to girls, because you could live in the same city and not see her once, you'll never see her again in your life. So we was gonna get them girls because you never knew if you was gonna see them or not. But go ahead.
But yeah, what I was saying was it normally goes from texting, and use texting to kind of catapult you to FaceTime because you can get that face-to-face interaction to see, what the vibe is like or whatever. And then from FaceTime, now you're planning a date to actually hang out in person.
So let me ask you this. Could you could you have a interaction on FaceTime and then kind of tell like if she put effort into how she looks on
Oh,
FaceTime, if she
definitely.
feeling you or not?
Definitely. Because one thing I notice is like ladies, they'll try to have their camera set up a certain type of way to where it shows like their best angle of their face. The camera, my mama, she done got on me a couple times because I'll be on FaceTime and I just had a camera like this, not caring, you know what I'm saying? But girls, they'll try to, be pretty and do themselves up to look nice on the FaceTime and stuff like that. And that's kind of one of the ways that But if she's not even willing to FaceTime you, or you'll call her, you could set up, hey, at this time I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna reach out, is that cool with you? And then she'll say yeah. And then you reach out and you'll FaceTime her, she don't answer, and then she texts you back. And then it's like, okay, well, you might try one more time because like maybe she was doing something. And then it's another excuse. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, I'm kind of, picking up what you putting down. But yeah.
Okay. And so let me hit these comments, and I want to get to one more, and then it's been a quick hour, right?
It has.
It's gone
real fast.
Let's see. Angela said, Jordan, I am 50 years old, and it's the same way. Seems like texting is their way to communicate.
Now, I hope it's not like that when I'm 50. It probably would be worse. I'm not going to go lie, but that's not. Social media.
Yep. Jamie just said the grown folks is letting the kids influence them. Yeah, that's horrible. And then Keisha said, a man quit me via text, then text me 3 weeks later and asked me if we could try again. # Negro, please.
She must have something else going on.
And then Angela said, I need to hear a voice. Yep.
Right.
I feel you on that. And then Jamie said, if she ain't asking no questions, that's a red flag because we want to know about all the ninjas we really into.
That's very true, because it get tough when it's kind of like it's like you doing an interview. You asking all the questions and then they just answering, but they not asking you anything.
Reciprocating.
What do you want to know about me?
Right.
That's the question.
Or if they're so self-involved that they don't, they just talk about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they never ask you anything about you. It's like, oh, I don't know. You might not be what I'm looking for.
Right.
And then Keisha said, forget that. I'm gonna be so close to the camera on FaceTime, all people will see all my eyes. That's hilarious. So last one before we call it an evening. This is a very good one. She takes a long time to text back.
Yep. I mentioned that earlier. I definitely mentioned that earlier because especially with how technology is for everyone these days, pretty much everyone always has their phone in their hand, especially younger people. It's like it's never not a time where we're not checking our phone, but we really make time to text the people back that we want to talk to.
You don't text back and then you post.
And that's another, yeah. My T Jones, she just said if she make a post.
He said T Jones, that's what I mean by he old. Go ahead.
If she make a post, but she don't text you back, or you text her hours ago, she didn't text back, but she making a post, or she on live,
tutorial, a makeup tutorial live or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of right. It's just like, come on now, like I know you seen what I sent you, but it's just like I'm not a priority to you. But if you were to just be upfront about that, then it's like,
go live your life,
please.
Go live your life. Well, good people, we have come to the end of our broadcast. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We appreciate all of the comments and the information and the interaction. And I think this went well. We probably need to do this again.
Yeah, I definitely will do it again. It was fun.
Yeah.
They are tripping in here. But and then Angela said, I have definitely enjoyed. Thank you so much, Angela, for tuning in. We really appreciate you. And if anybody ever needs us, hit us up. Marriage is real. We still talk to y'all and everything like that. We love y'all, and y'all have a good evening, and y'all take care.
You gotta be fair. Swap, vomit, crack, fright, fear.
Your body